So today we'll be talking about reclamation. All right. Now, I won't be talking about SBI, which is social break and inducement, which is this. SBI is like you need to like see a sweep, a break or structure, and then I won't be talking about this because I do not trade SBI. All right, I do not trade it. Instead, what I do is that if there is a key level here, price will tap on the second to last, then I can join at continuation, like what is currently happening on this guy over here. For example, but SBI has to do with like um inducement, like 1 2. All right, has to have a sweep. Price has to take out previous low, like to sweep it out. Can be a little sweep, a big one, anyone. So instead of, because if you want to trade how other people trade, they will want to like, I don't know what they normally get from this point and they use as their entry, but I do not trade like that, and that's what they call like the SBI, structural break inducement. I do not trade like that. It is very very obvious to everyone that learns from me that this is where price stop and tapped on this support key level. All right, this support key level is where price tapped on, and the invalidation of this support key level is this. Now, whether or not price had a sweep here, it doesn't concern this key level. What is happening here, whether or not price had this sweep here, it doesn't concern this key level. Now, the safest way you can trade this, instead of entering directly, if you check on that Telegram channel, you'll see that I entered a continuation here. Now, the reason why I did not drop it on that channel is because I wanted to enter after this guy is taken out, because people that were selling, this is their invalidation, this is their last fresh key level, this is their support to resistance. The last was this guy here, and price tapped on it earlier today, so they beat. And then I wanted to see this guy get taken out. I want to see this guy get taken out first before, because you know it's a public channel, so the kind of risk I might take here and them is quite different. So I wanted to like see price take out this guy, this like the inverse I taught you guys. Then we were going to be buying from this level, at this key level here, but I don't know why price is trying to snub it. I don't know, but I already got in from this point. So instead of trading blindly, when I mean blindly, joining just at that point, I rather follow with continuation. People that trade SBI, they enter directly. They can even use this as their entry. I do not trade like that. I make sure that for everything I trade, there is like my model is shown in that particular system. That's this SBI. I said I will not talk about it because I do not trade it. Now, I do not even trade reclamation because I used this inverse to how am I going to put it? I used the inverse to get a high probability on reclamation. What do I mean? Now, if you know, despite that this is this is the inducement here, doesn't stop the fact that this is a valid internal. So if we wanted to like sell at this point, and then anybody wanted to sell at this point, maybe whosoever, I do not know. Now, the best way to enter this is to wait for this key level to fail, which it did. For First of all, what happened first was that price created a recent key level. Now, for those of you, somebody asked, I don't know if it's still at 1.0 or you guys, anyway. Somebody asked a question and the person said, and I quote, according to the confirmation of this and that, we are supposed to be we are supposed to get a confirmation on 2 hours, 4 hours. Now, whether this key level is showing on 2 hours, every time frame has their own story. Adding more confluence is like higher advantage, but that doesn't invalidate the fact that in this time frame, if this key level gets taken out, others will fail until where price gets to where the inducement or the disruption. So taking the fact that this key level did not show on 2 hours or 4 hours, and that means now that this key level is not valid, and because this one is showing on 2 hours and 4, I want to take this one, you are just wasting your time, because this loss you are looking for. Now this key level already failed, and what I told you guys, after that key level fails, what do we expect? A reverse or whatever happened. Now this guy, there was no fresh key level here. Anybody that would have traded this, maybe they trade on fresh, no problem. And the valid one was over here. Price snubbed it with some pips, but then took out this guy, creating another one valid, and the next one price created was this one. Now when you're trading the inverse key level, what you should note is that your eye should still be on the main structure, that is the diagram of the market. Oh, I am sharing my screen. Oh, okay. Your eye should still be on the, despite I am counter trading, this is the structure of the market. As far this is concerned, the point where price will take and this VIX 25 will be very much bullish is when this disruption, this guy over here, is taken out. All right, this one is just the inducement. So whatever has been going on here is just, let me just put it this way, it's just scalp trade. Like we just want to trade. So what you should note is that no matter what you are trading, all right, it all boils down to key level. Even if you want to trade reclamation, I don't trade much on reclamation, and I think after this particular set, if I ever host any class again, I'm not going to talk about reclamation. I'm not even going to talk about SBI. If I should talk about SBI, it's because of I want to teach how to like enter with continuation, but there's definitely not going to be like a reclamation as an entry. What I will just explain is that in some cases, price can take out a particular level and reclaim it. Reclaiming that level is simple. If price takes out this guy, for instance, he probably had kept a sell POI here, which is still our key level. So what is it? It still boils down to what I'm explaining with the inverse. That's why I had to teach the inverse before this. When that inverse fails, what does it come back to? Our key level for continuation. So everything is still key level. Everything. Alright, reclamation is still on that key level, because these are support and resistance in the market. So if price takes out a zone, for example, even as an inducement, if price wants to reclaim that zone, oh okay, let me use gold as example. I think I saw something like that. What I'm currently expecting on gold. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? No data, how? Derive, what's going on? Doesn't want to open. I don't set up the trading view on this MacBook before study class. Let me just go back to. I guess we might not go back to that. Okay, the joints are still there, thank God. So like I said, is it up to 10? Okay, no, let me go to 1 hour time frame. So now let me just do a diagram of what is actually going on gold. Now we had this on gold where price took out that inducement. Now after price took out that inducement, I told you guys when we had the last class that I was selling gold. What am I doing? I told you guys that I am selling gold, and most people were like wondering why. Now when after price took out that inducement, did he take it out? I need to see that chart. Oh my god. Let me check from here because I have like the analysis. Because what I'm trying to explain is this reclamation, but still in line with key levels. All right. Okay. Yep. I've seen what I'm looking for. So I think price took out a zone on gold, and then he created a key level. Now if price wants to reclaim that zone, for instance, all he has to do is the sell POI that is supposed to like continue, but this thing should be mainly done to reclaim a POI is safe on disruption that inducement. Why? Because both buyers and sellers can be faked out. I've said it before that because price took out an inducement doesn't mean is now bearish, and because he took it out doesn't mean he wants to start buying. But to reclaim, let me use it as disruption. This is a disruption now. If he wants to reclaim this, if there's a sell POI here, all he has to do is let that sell POI fail. We had something like that on VIX 25. Am I right? Let me check. I think we were trying to buy from this zone. We're trying to buy from this zone, these two guys here. Now price bought for a while, like just something little, and he took it out. Now I got in the buy again. And how did I get into the buy? Happened was that price had to like oh my god. Price had to like take out this guy. Oh my god, I beg. God. So like I was saying, yeah. If don't work in the right on weekend, okay. So price had to like take out this guy. Is that the guy? No, that's not the guy. Yeah, okay, yep. Price had to like take out this guy here. This was their most recent but on fresh. Okay, it showed a bit. Yes, exactly what I'm talking about, because I posted this buy on that channel. So after price failed for this, what happened? Invalidated this at this point. Where's the So after he did that, what the price create, though that key level was not sure. After he invalidated this sell rather, after price invalidated this sell, the next thing that we looked out for was a reclamation of this zone. And the reclamation of this zone, it was okay. The most recent is this. It wasn't snubbed after price broke this. So the most recent was this guy. So you see that you can reclaim a zone in a very smart, strategic way to avoid hitting losses. All those ones that people are doing is know how they reclaim. You reclaim a zone when the intended direction did not work out. It took out disruption with the body of the candle. Fine. What is expected to happen? Sell. Now the sell fails, and what happens next? Price reclaims that zone. You enter with key level, the inverse key level. That is where this buy came out from. And then now we had more and more entries. Price will break this point and create entry. Look like entry more with like flip zones. I think we had another one. Was it here? No, I don't think so. It couldn't break this high. But there we still had this one. We had this one. So on and on and on. That's just how you can reclaim a zone peacefully until what one fails again. And then which one failed? I think it was this guy. This guy failed after selling after buying for a while. He failed, and then now what happened? The inverse came again. The failure of that guy brought about this sale that occurred here. So very simple strategic reclamation. Jeff has already done major justice to what I would have done. Okay, but what I'm just explaining, is how to enter that reclamation when you're not entering randomly or guessing. Now write to your notebook. First of all, the failure of an intended direction with a significant reaction before the failure creates a flip zone. Like this guy, for example, we were looking forward to like sell here. It's our intended direction to sell, and then it fails. Create a flip zone. If this was disruption, no, create a flip zone, and then what? The flip of it is where we are buying from. Now the failure with a non-significant reaction before the failure creates a breaker block. They can call it breaker block, but you can just put it as inverse key level. All right, then the failure of this guy, for example, you're trying to like just as I explained before, you are trying to buy here. The failure of this after trying to buy for a while, rather you're trying to sell since this guy has been taken out. A non-significant reaction. This is not a significant reaction. So if you are trying to buy at this point and the price could not give you a significant reaction, like a very good buy, at least 1 to 3 or 1 to 2, and then reverse, and then you are trying to now sell, the failure of this sell is now what brings that reclamation. And you can see that the buy got in from here is better than any sell that would have happened here. Any sell that happened here, the buy that happened here is better than this sell. On and on and on and on. So what's my outlook for VIX 25? I actually want price to come down to this zone to tag and then continue buying because of the people on Telegram. But as for me, I already got in. I really want this to happen. Even if we see drawdown, no problem. Because why I told them that if price should like, if it gets to like 1 hour and it doesn't trigger, like price doesn't come to our zone, I'm going to update them, is because of this nearest zone here. The next zone is this guy, and I might not drop this for them. The reason is because this is not a flip zone. To have high probability this kind of trade has to be like a flip zone. Price has to like take out a structural liquidity or an internal. So the next and better place that they can enter from is if price flips this one. So if this doesn't work, I'll just tell them to cancel like till tomorrow. Why is it this one? Because this is a structural liquidity, a dual structural liquidity. You can see it went up and then it came down. So it's a better flip zone than what we are seeing here. And if any of these fails, the inverse, very simple. So I wouldn't want to waste much of your time. Now for all those people that are shouting, stacking this, stacking that, you need to understand how to analyze very well before you talk about all those things. All those things are minor compared to what you can do if you can learn how to analyze properly. If you don't know how to analyze properly, you definitely will not know how to stack. It all comes down to analysis. The rest is like, as the layman will say, jara. So that's just it. So we'll be ending the class right now. I don't think there's more things to talk about. I don't like bombing you with too much information. But basically, that is just how to reclaim a zone. The failure of the intended direction. Alright, the failure of an intended direction. Now, I'm just going to answer one question. If anybody has a question, just one, just write it in the general group. The first question I see there is the question I'm going to answer before we go. The general group. If there's any question, hope I'm not talking to myself. Alright, fine. Just one question. Anybody, anything that has been bugging you. The first question I see. So type very fast. The first, what was your confirmation of that shit? Is that one a question? Ask question on what we are learning. Confirmation not pass this thing. But this is what I just explained now. How I entered the trade now. People are asking, this person that has this question is asking question like is not in this class. Like he's just the channel person. I just explained why I entered this trade and I did not wait for it, and why I did not drop it for them. I just explained that now. This one here this is why I did not drop it for them directly. It's because I wanted this sell to fail, because people were selling here. Sure, it was people that were selling before I woke up now, and I said I missed the sell. That I don't want to over trade. I missed the sell. Should we focus more on key level? What else do you want to focus on? Reclamation, everything is still under this key level. If you want to reclaim a point of interest, the previous zone should fail. What else do you want to focus on? I'm not getting questions that I need. If people ask a question, can invalidation be traded? Can invalidation be traded? What's invalidation? I don't think that person know the meaning of invalidation. No. Can invalidation be traded? Okay, I just saw something. If price should like create a key level, okay. This key level has been tampered with. That's the issue. But we have a zone here, a flip zone. So if price can luckily create a key level, let's say a key level here before breaking this zone, yeah, I will give it to them. Because now looking like this thing is coming back. The speed at which this thing is buying, oh god. This is sharp. I was hoping to enter more positions because my god. That's why I did not even, because the trade, the margin, yeah, was small. I want to like open more positions with the profit when this one wants to trigger, but it doesn't look like that's happening. Like price has gone or something. So we are stopping here. I'm not getting any questions, so we are stopping here right now. If disruption taken out, if disruption, what is this person writing? If disruption taken out, if he reclaimed its counter. Oh, wow. So a flip zone is only valid when it has SLQ sharp. No, even a social liquidity can be a flip zone. Like for example, should I just use this guy here now? Is this not a social liquidity? It is. It is not. It doesn't have social liquidity. So this is a social liquidity on its own. Stop saying what I did not say. What do you tend to do when price keeps taking out strong highs and low? Like it takes out disruption, then the high or low that caused it. I don't understand that question. In a case whereby you take an inverse key level and price invalidate the most recent inverse key level, will you take the next key level? Okay, yes, I like that question. No, it's very simple. I think that thing has happened before. That thing, I think it happened around here or something. It happened around here. Now let us check what that person said. I'm trying to think I traded something like that. This question, let me highlight the question that I like. This particular question. This is the kind of question that I need to like answer. because it's something that will happen, can happen, and has happened before. Let me put this here first and see whether that's the zone. No, that's not it. I think next one above should be this one. Okay, fine. I think that's it. Now something happened. This is a key level here, like a flip zone as well. The invalidation is this guy. Good. Now you can see that price. If your SL was tight, you definitely will take a loss, because price failed to do what? Price failed to buy here, right? Yes. But now you might want to take like an inverse at this point, because of course a key level failed. At this point, and you hit SL. Now, for you to know your next move, price needs to flip composedly, needs to flip another key level. Alright, price needs to composedly flip another key level and respect, come back to tap on that key level. After it has taken out that flip zone, like this one now, for example, it now needs to come back to it. Like, you will not take any buy, you will not take any sell until a zone has been flipped. Either this zone is flipped, or price should later come back to break this thing that it was supposed to do. Or else it has to like flip a key level, like has to flip a social liquidity or an internal, on and on, like that. You can see that after price flip this key level here, it did not come back to it, but after I flip this one, it came back to this next one. Maybe it snubbed it, I don't know, just little thing, it snubbed it, Jerry. But yes, that gave us like a direction to know that what we are continuing with the buys until price got to this extreme over here, and this was, I think this was almost like the all-time high, and then it sold from this point, and that was what brought about the heavy sell that happened. And now we are now struggling in ranges until price will break out and give us a major movement. I like when pairs are trending, it gives you the advantage, like to just enter with flips like that. So we're going to stop here. See you guys soon again. If there should be any emergency class, I will definitely announce. And you guys take care of yourself and trade safe. Bye.